Hey guys, Coach Bricks here. I wanted to ask a question. Do you believe that sprinting can help with HGH? All right, HGH is human growth hormone. All right, why HGH is important is because as we age, HGH starts to decrease. Okay, so what is HGH used for? It's one of the more important hormones out there. It helps with muscle repair, metabolism, anti-aging, fat burning, all the things that we need as human beings to continue to progress and stay as young as possible. So HGH is a huge important thing. That's why you hear so many people who get, as they age, they start to get HGH, all right, shots and things like that. Um, Even some Olympic athletes, take those as a performance enhancer. There's a reason for that, okay? Because our bodies start to decrease it. And so people use a synthetic way to do it to enhance their performance. Okay. So HGH is extremely important. We didn't know a whole heck of a lot about it. I know we knew it. We didn't know how important it is over probably to the last 20, 25 years. It's actually probably taken over what testosterone was, steroids. I know people still use them to enhance their performance, but HGH is, in my opinion, in all the research that I've done, is much more valuable. And the shots and things that people get, I understand why they do it because it definitely is a huge benefit, an anti-aging thing and stuff. So there are natural things you can do. All right. There's certain things you can do, health wise, eating wise, besides getting shots and things like that. But one of the things that they're finding, okay, which is a huge benefit, and it goes to prove a lot of things that I talk about in life, okay, how the human body was designed by God, why it was designed the way it is, and how we have screwed it up. Okay. We don't understand the body. Even our medical community does not really understand the body. They understand it on a level of what drug can I give you? What drug can I help you to suppress your symptoms? Not really heal you, but suppress your symptoms. That's what they look at. Where I look at it as how did God design us? How does He want us to thrive? And what naturally can I do, whether it's through nutrition, my own physical body, my spiritual makeup, my meditation, my thought process? What can I do to live in more harmony with Him, but also live how God intended us to do? So, like I talked about, HGH is huge. Okay, it's a very important thing. One thing you can do is lift heavy weights. Okay, lift heavy, not just lift. A lot of people lift, but it's actually lifting heavy. And you don't got to do it all the time. Not every single exercise has to be heavy, right? You could go in and perform some type of, you know, body weight exercise, and you add weight to it, squats, deadlifts, different types of lunges, things of that nature that can help you, you know, break down the muscle. So then the body then has to call on HGH to help come and repair. All right. So lifting heavy is probably one of the easiest ways to do it. Now, a lot of people get scared because they don't want to get hurt, which I understand. Sled pushes is great. I just thought of that one. Sled pushes, heavy sled pushes, phenomenal. And you do them once a week, maybe twice a week. Okay. Mix it up, increase that HGH. But here's one that they're starting to find more and more, and it starts to make more and more sense to me and why I've really tried to advocate for this much, much more than other types of so-called cardio. I'm not a cardio guy in the sense of let's go out and run. I think it's dumb. I don't think the human body was ever designed to be like that. So people who go out and run miles, whatever you want to do, that's on you. That's fine. But you have to think of it as God designed us. He didn't design us to go out and run miles. He designed us to be short, quick, bursted athletes. Okay. Fast. I need to get that food. I need to chase after something. I'm going after it. Okay. I need to get away from something. I better be able to sprint, not jog. Okay. I'm sprinting as fast as I possibly can to get away. Do you have to have some endurance? Yes, speed endurance, not long distance endurance, speed endurance. I should be able to walk. Now, granted, a lot of people can't walk because they're that far out of shape, but that's a whole other topic. Okay. But getting back to the HGH things, they're finding that people who do a 30-second all out sprint can increase their HGH. Okay. 30-second all out sprint can increase it up to like 400%. And it can last for somewhere between 30 to 120 minutes after you're done. So after you're done sprinting, that HGH level is elevated. Now, it's not going to stay at 400% all day long. It doesn't mean, oh, yeah, great. That's not how it works. Okay. This isn't the shot where it's in you and then it just sits there for a while. Okay. This is a quick burst, like that dopamine kick. like most people get with their social media. They get so fired up because somebody liked their picture or commented. That's that dopamine hit. Okay. This is what this is. Now, if I perform more, okay, I'm probably going to get more benefit out of it. Okay. How much more? I think that's still in debate. I've read up to where people who do six 30-second sprints with anywhere between 30 to 90-second rest can have a 700 increase in HGH over that same time period. Okay. So when people test the blood afterwards, they're testing on each hour, each half hour, and stuff like that. And they're seeing that the levels are still elevated, which is great news. And this goes back to what I always talk about when it comes to the Bible. That's how God designed us. Okay. He designed us to be sprinters. We have the capability to sprint, as most animals do. Okay, let's look at cheetahs for a second. Okay, and I understand we're not four-legged animals, but cheetahs can run up to 70 miles an hour. That's blazing. Okay, that's moving. Okay, and you've seen videos of these guys, how they sprint, cut, all this kind of stuff. It's unreal. But you know their bodies have to then take a rest after that all-out sprint. So if they don't catch what they're supposed to catch or their food, they're kind of screwed for a little while. They can't go back out and sprint like that again. Their bodies have to recover. That's the breakdown in the muscle. That's the breakdown in everything else that happens in the human body. That they typically, I think, where I read, it's something like 4 hours they got to be able to recover before they can go back out and do that again. That's that recovery. That's the same with us. Okay. Now we typically don't go just lie down. Okay. After we sprint, typically that's not how it happens. But that's our body's call because what happened is that 30-second sprint that I just did, it broke the body down. Just like in the cheetah, it broke our bodies down. It has to repair itself. Okay. So the HGH gets flooded in there because it's reading it as, oh crap, I'm depleted here. I need to really send as much as I possibly can to help my body recover as quickly as possible. So that's what it's doing. It's going to healing and adapting. And I talk about that all the time. Healing and adapting. The body only knows that. Off of survival, it's heal and adapt. Everything falls back into place. You guys see where I'm trying to come from? I've been speaking on this stuff for years, and this stuff is all starting to come together of how it works. You just got to open your mind a little bit more um, to why it's important for us to do this. So all this stuff is adding on. So it's a simple thing. Now people say, well, Coach, I haven't, sprinted in years. And that's unfortunate because that's where I think most people lose it is that they're done playing their sport, whatever age that is. Could be 18, 19, 20, 25, whatever it is. Okay. And you stop sprinting. That's the wrong thing to do. So if you're a young kid, do not stop sprinting. I'm not saying you got to sprint the same intensity as you do as your college days, your pro or playing days, but get out there and sprint a couple times a week. Okay. All out as fast as you can. All right. Don't lose that. If you have lost it because you haven't sprinted forever and you've done some other type of workout or you just lift weights and not with the high intensity that you need to, or you just go out and you run. Okay. Start out and sprints in, but start with maybe 10 seconds. Just go there once, twice a week, 1, 2 sprints at a time. That's it. Give yourself recovery. Then build yourself up to 15, 20, 25, where you're up to 30 seconds. And then once you hit 30, do it once a week. Okay. Then maybe you have a couple like 10-second ones. Then you start to gradually build that up where you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 a week. Okay. All out sprints. And then you start adding those and clumping those together into, the same session where you might be doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a session with like a 90-second break in between. Start that. See where you can get. This, I think, could be so beneficial for so many people because it's free. Now, I know what people are going to say. Oh, I'm worried about a heart attack. I understand. Here's the problem. You got to start slow if you haven't done it for a while. But the human body, think about this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The human body loves explosion. It loves to be balanced. Yeah, let's talk about the twitchiness. It loves to be strong, not so much huge, but strong. And it loves to have speed. Okay. We know this from my studies on Alzheimer's, right? People who walk at a certain pace, right? As if you start to see them slowing the pace down, they're probably having cognitive decline. It's not age, it's a cognitive problem. So if we can keep ourselves moving at a faster pace, we hopefully can start to eliminate this cognitive issue. Everything's working together. Do you see this? This is what you're not going to hear from doctors. Why? Because there's not a medicine for this. This is natural. This is God. God knew exactly what he was doing. He told us how we can heal. We just have to listen to our bodies and understand the way it was designed. Is there a rest period? 100%. Okay. I'm all about natural rest, not putting boots on me and ice bathing and all this kind of crap. Natural rest, understanding the human body. HGH is one of those ways. Like I said, it helps with my fat, it helps repair my muscles, it does all the things that I need it to do. Okay. Which is hugely important. It also helps with my metabolism. These things are all what the body needs. So if you want to start losing weight, instead of going and say, I'm going to go out and run 10, 12, 15 miles, okay? Because I've seen a lot of those people, and I'm like, dude, as much running as you do, you should be thin as all get out. But they're not because of inflammation. Okay. And I've spoken about this many times, the inflammation of the body, because the body has a hard time understanding long distance because it's constantly in a chronic inflamed state. Okay. But with sprinting, it's not. Why? Because it gets that quick burst, the body inflames, the HGH gets in there, right? As fast as possible. It's getting in there and staying in there for an extended period of time. Like I said, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, up to 120 minutes. So it's clearing itself out. It's constantly getting rid of the stuff that it doesn't need in there. So the inflammation does not last as long. Okay. So that's a key, all right, to the success of the human body. So when people say, well, I might have a heart attack, granted, if you haven't done anything, okay, and you're just sitting there, I would never recommend somebody going out and sprinting 30 seconds straight. No, you start out very slow, okay? Gradually build it up so then you can get to a point of that. That's the whole key is build yourself up. Don't think I go, oh, 30 seconds, that's a lot. It is if you haven't done anything. This is what we have to start understanding. We have to start understanding how God designed the body. And I know people don't want to put together because everybody says science is different than, how God created us. No, it's not. God created us. Science has actually ruined a lot of stuff, has told us lies after lie after lie. Okay. Gotten some things right. Okay. But a lot of stuff is based on lies. It's whoever funds that project gets to say whatever they want. It's just how it is. You have to look at it from a biblical perspective and how the human body is designed. Once you get that in, start to think, okay, if I sprint and my HGH levels increase, okay, they don't really increase when I go out for long distance, okay, they don't, but HGH levels increase. That's going to help me heal my body. It's going to help me flush out inflammation quicker. So then my body's ready to go. Just like the cheetah, like I said, 70 miles an hour needs to rest 3 or 4 or 5 hours. That's to get rid of the inflammation, let it recover, let it heal up, and then boom, go again. People who chronically run 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles, and they do that over and over and over and over and over and over again, have a hard time sometimes getting rid of that. There's an inflammation issue. Okay. So change the mindset. Heavy lifting, phenomenal. Sprinting, even better. Okay. Start sprinting. All right. Even if it's just 5 yards, 10 yards, even if it's 3, 4 seconds. Cool. Do it once, let your body recover. Watch what you start to get out of it. I do it, and I'm telling you, after I do those those sprints, I feel phenomenal. I used to run those miles, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, and my body used to feel like crap, right? And I do it, and boom. Now I do these sprints, and I feel better. I feel healthier. I feel leaner. My body recovers much quicker. Everything happens for a reason, and it's amazing. Human body meant to sprint. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Maybe you don't agree. Tell me why you don't agree. Let's have some discussions. All right, be blessed, guys. Hey, also check out RX Health and Fitness. This is the new wave of health in this country. Started by my good buddy and myself, Dr. Joe, and myself. We're trying to meet people where we change them into understanding their bodies, like I just talked about, but also naturally how to heal, how to get themselves back to where they should. And I don't care what age you are, it's for anybody. Anybody who's really serious about getting right. All right. It's an investment in you. Everybody looks at it as like, well, it costs this much. It's an investment in you. You people buy cars, you buy houses, you buy all this stuff, all these materialistic stuff that don't make you any better. Very few complain about it. This is investment in you. Reach out, let us help you. Let us make you who you're supposed to be, who God intended you to be. Live a long, prosperous life, not to 16, 70 on 18 different drugs and have 18 different, comorbidities. No, healthy, long, very healthy people. All right. Guys, be blessed and God bless you.